Thank you, Michael. Our next speaker is Raymond, and he's going to take the stage next.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back. This is my third time here at the Guelph University of Relay, and I spoke for you all here last year. And my very first Relay for Life was here in 2011. Originally, I left the campus in 2008 because of my diagnosis of acute lymphoblastic leukemia. And as a former Griffin who didn't graduate, to all the current Griffins here, I just have to ask you, how y'all feeling? Amazing. I love the energy that you guys had. Way better than last year. Don't worry, I said that. But I feel you're being a little conservative. Look, we have 12 hours together here, the biggest event ever. You gotta go all out from the start. So let's make a bet. If I can get all of you cheering along with me before the end of my speech, we're gonna collaborate on something. But if even one of you doesn't cheer along with me, I'm gonna give you all some creative input on my next two speeches. I'm gonna be speaking at the University of Regina, Saskatchewan Relay for Life, and in the summer I'm gonna be speaking at Toronto Central. So think of it as the creative community here in Guelph collaborating with two amazing communities across Canada. How's that sound? But we all know I'm gonna win the bet. So what I'm thinking is a video. I looked you all up before I came back, and you put out some amazing things. Not the Harlem Shake videos. We're not gonna do that. What I thought was more along the lines of the pep rally videos, the orientation videos, the summer semester promotional videos, student testimonials. Some of you maybe done the lip dub videos through McKinnon. Were you part of that? Excellent. But my absolute favorite video from all of you was the November 3rd, 2011 Get Swabbed flash mob video. How many of you saw that video?
Woo!
Okay, yeah. How many of you got swabbed with onematch.com?
Woo!
Okay, excellent, amazing. For all of you who raised your hands, thank you so much. But for all of you who don't really know what onematch.com is, it's an amazing support network that just takes a simple DNA swab from your cheek and matches you up as a potential stem cell donor or blood transfusion donor. With my blood cancer, I had a blood transfusion of platelets back when I was in the hospital, and I most likely got matched through onematch.com. So just by getting your cheek swabbed, you became part of an amazing network that supports, encourages, and provides resources to those who need it. And are all of you gonna get swabbed after this? Yeah? Amazing. But if I was lucky, I would have just had cancer. But unfortunately, shortly after chemotherapy started, I developed a blood clot on the right side of my brain. This gave me a stroke and paralyzed me from the top of my head to the bottom of my foot on my left side, and my arm would spasm sporadically. It was so terrible that the nurses had to handcuff my arm to my bed when I went to sleep at night, so I wouldn't slap myself in the face. Not a very pretty picture, but there's more to the story. They also gave me this drug called doxorubicin. It's the standard chemotherapy. It gives you hair loss, nausea, joint pain, muscle pain, constipation, 42-hour erection. A 42-hour erection. Eyes up here, eyes up here, eyes up here. What happened to me was this medication just got me hard. And I'm a young man. I had it when I was 20, and I had a floor full of young hot nurses. So I knew how to control myself. So when this symptom showed its head, I decided I needed to figure out why this was happening to me. So I asked the nurses, what's wrong? What's going on with me? And all they would say was, sorry sir, we can't do anything about that. That's your situation. You handle yourself. But I still persisted because I didn't want to be perfect. I just wanted to know what was wrong with my body. Cancer and paralysis were enough. So they got fed up with me and knocked me out with T3 Tylenol. So not only was I handcuffed to my bed with cancer, paralyzed, but I was pitching a tent. So it's okay, you can laugh for more, because that's how I saw my journey. That's how I saw going into cancer, because holding on to that enjoyment, holding on to that joy just instilled in me that sense to keep pushing forward. Because my youth was stripped from me, my education, my job, my life, all of it was just taken away just because they told me I had leukemia. My support group stayed with me throughout my 50 days of being in the hospital, However, it got a lot more difficult when I started being an outpatient. I had 2.5 years of treatment. So the isolation started to build up because a lot of people thought, well, when he's in the hospital, people need to see him, we should go check up on him. However, when you're at home, they kind of think, hey, maybe he's getting better. And I did make attempts to hang out with people and make sure I checked in with everyone. However, the medication put me on 3-week cycles. The very first week, I felt amazing. I felt I could beat this disease, I could get past it, and I could eat a lot of food without gaining weight. Amazing. However, the next 2 weeks after that, I was going through depression, mood swings, irritability, nausea, vomiting, and constipation, but no erections. But with that kind of random, sporadic schedule, it was very difficult to hang out and see people and have a social life through my cancer, not to mention that I was paralyzed, and it kept me confined in my own house. And I lived with this since I was 20, I turned 21, and then I turned 22, and nothing had changed. I was still the same frustrated, irritable, confused young man, not knowing what to do with my life, because cancer and paralysis was my life. And no one really understood me. I didn't even understand how to deal with my situation. And it got so frustrating that I almost gave up. I was sick of being sick. I just wanted it all to end. So I almost threw myself in front of a train. But what stopped me was pride. I was too proud to just let it consume me. I wanted to prove to the people that didn't understand that I could get over this. I was not this kind of human being and I could get better. I just didn't know how. Finally, I pushed myself to January 2011, where I finished treatment and finally got some physiotherapy. In 8 months, I went from being crippled to being able to walk and even run. I started challenging 5K runs, raising money for cancer support, and also climbing the CN Tower. But I was a little too overambitious, and I broke the cartilage under my left kneecap. That's why I have this cute little companion here with me. But the whole journey taught me that just with willpower and the sense to move on, I can overcome so many things. But the biggest cornerstone of my journey was meeting young adults that supported one another through young adult support groups. There was one organization in particular, the Young Adult Cancer Canada. They had a retreat in Newfoundland. There I met a young man from Calgary who had a completely different diagnosis than me, but a very similar mindset. He told us a story of how when he was going through treatment, he did not want to be this angry, frustrated individual that nothing was changing with, and he prayed to God why this was happening to him. However, when he overcame his treatment, he started making positive changes for support groups. And after he shared that story with us, I burst into tears of gratitude, thanking him profusely for sharing that, because I finally felt validated. I finally felt someone understood all that had happened to me. That the 2 years, almost 3, of my suffering was finally acknowledged by another human being. And when I realized that, I realized I wanted to make a difference. And I knew how to make a difference because I saw all the support needed for a young adult going through cancer. So when I returned to Toronto, I founded C4 Mural Project, an awareness campaign to support young adults affected by cancer. When I say affected by cancer, I don't just mean a diagnosis like myself. I also mean young adults such as yourselves who support those affected by cancer. Also, young adults that have an opinion about cancer. And that connects everyone. And all of you came here together to support whatever reason here at Relay for Life. C4 stands for Creative Communities Collaborating for Change. And all you have to do is just take a canvas, I brought 3 of them here, and just show your support. You can depict a picture, you can write supportive words, you can take a picture with the canvas. I already have 30 feet in Toronto, I have 50 feet spread across 8 provinces in Canada, and I'm just going to keep building these canvases and showing how many supported communities are affected by cancer. Generally, I speak to young adults such as yourselves, but I'm also reaching out and going to as many communities as I can, because that's what we're all about, creative communities collaborating for change. Now, all of you are here for slightly different reasons. I saw some of your shirts. Some people say why they relay. So all of us for a second think why we're here. Just focus on that reason you're here. Why do you relay? Now the room is filled with all these different reasons for being in this space together. But let's be in this space together for one reason. Let's try that. When I raise my hand, y'all are gonna say relay. When I raise my staff, y'all are gonna say for life. Wanna try that?
Relay for life! Life! Relay for life!
And that's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. We're here for life. We're here to celebrate the lives around us. We're here to remember the lives that have left us. And we're here to fight for the lives that we want to make for ourselves. As individuals, we are all capable of finding success by doing those simple things. But when we come together as a community, we can make amazing, supportive change. I know it's a little bit of too much of an onus to put on you, but think of it this way. When I came here in 2011 and I saw this amazing community, I didn't know a single one of you, but you all inspired me to come back up here twice in a row, and I'm gonna still keep doing it. So you as individuals inspire me to do what I'm doing. So take that into your mind and consider that. And I'm just gonna leave you with this. If you change yourself, the world changes. Thank you, Guelph.
Okay, one more round of applause for our three speakers here today. So we're going to get started with our event tonight, and our first event of the night is our Survivors Lap. So if people can line themselves around the edge of the track, we're going to cheer on our survivors as they go around. And it's lined mostly with green tape, so if everyone can spread themselves out, that's our first step.
Yo, Ray, how do you stop this?